Blockers Furniture is having a truckload sale. Right now, you can save 20% on sofas and love seats when you mention radio. Blockers' 80,000 square foot showroom is home to the largest in-stock selection of living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, unique furniture accents, outdoor furniture, and more. That means you can take your furniture home that same day or have it delivered. Check out the Blockers Sleep Gallery, too. They carry a huge selection of mattresses, including all the name brands you love. Blockers Furniture Truckload Sale. 2402 Southwest College Road, Ocala, next to Hobby Lobby. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, I am your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio, located just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. Galen Unoff from Life South joins as he does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and JustShip.net. Galen, good morning to you.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you today, my man?
You know, I'm a little saddened. You know, when you see an area of the United States that comes under attack, they don't know why, they don't know how. You know, they're looking for a person of interest. Of course, we're talking about the cowardly act that took place on the Brooklyn subway train yesterday morning. Right about this time, rush hour, on the N train on near the 36th Avenue station. Guy, from all accounts, pudgy black guy, short pudgy black guy in a construction outfit, put on a gas mask, put off 2 smoke bombs to, you know, cause chaos in the subway train, and then open fire. I don't know what causes people to have this kind of, you know, that's okay, and that you know, I don't know. I try to make sense of it, Galen, and I just can't.
Well, I don't think there is, and I don't think you ever will. It's senseless. I mean, there's got to be some mental illness there. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Looked like
from a lot of people that were injured, it looked like there was quite a large group of Asians on the train, so you don't know.
Sure. A
lot of people are speculating maybe it was, you know, a hate crime against Asians. It was a hate crime against Americans is what it was.
Well, I hate that term, hate crime.
I know.
Because all crime is hate,
yeah.
Right? It's one of the smartest things George W. Bush ever said. But, it's just I don't know how you could do that unless you had a lot of hate in your heart. So not just Americans, but to humanity as a whole.
They do have a person of interest they're looking for. I guess there was a credit card left at the scene, and so a set of keys to a U-Haul truck, and a lot of different evidence they found. But they say they only want to talk to the guys that are a person of interest. They don't have any suspects in the case at this time. They're still, you know, investigating and looking into it. But, you know, it could happen anywhere. What's to stop this kind of thing from happening on the MARTA train in Atlanta or in Dallas or Chicago on the L? You know, it's just, it amazes me the different ways animals find to try to kill people.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are looking at, it's because of guns. I'm like, you know, they had to outlaw knives in London over a certain length because of all the stabbing deaths. I mean, people are making bombs out of pressure cookers. And,
yeah.
So I'm not. I don't.
This is not guns' fault. This is not guns' fault.
No, I'm not doing that. Do guns make it easier? Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that. But the gun doesn't pull its own trigger.
No, it's kind of like you know, if a guy in a Ford Taurus gets behind the wheel drunk and rides up on a sidewalk and kills 45 people, you're not going to outlaw Ford Taurus.
I mean, look what happened in France. Somebody got a box truck
and just ran through a carnival area, ran through a market area. Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, when you see this type of senseless act, it just makes you question everything. And I don't believe there are any answers that are going to come. But I think a lot of this is as a society, we've broken down, these connections, and we're, we talk about all the time how people are against one another in a lot of ways, and it makes it easier. You say, well, they hate me, I hate them, and therefore I can remove them. And I just don't understand. And the bottom line is we've become a godless society. And there is no ramification. There is no morality anymore for a vast group of people. And if you don't care what happens to you in the afterlife, then whatever I do in this life doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it gives you free carte blanche to do whatever you want if you think there's no repercussions or no judgment day. It's just and they'll find whoever did this. I'm sure the New York City Police Department, because of what they've learned through necessity after 9/11 and after the bombings of the World Trade Center in 1993 and all the stuff that numerous things,
attacks like this,
right?
Yeah, and they will. And again, there's so much closed circuit TV. There's so many cameras around.
The camera on that one car, though, not functioning. They don't know whether the shooter disabled it. They don't know if the shooter disabled it or if it was just, routine maintenance hadn't been performed on it, so it wasn't working. They hadn't released.
Or is that just the reporting that's coming out? I don't know. I try to hold back judgment on any of these things and try not to get my mind made up one way or the other until it's over. I mean, I think we learned that. And even look at the Boston bombing, right? That happened with the Boston Marathon. 2 pressure cookers.
Right.
And
who would have thought about pressure? I had never even heard of pressure cooker bombs. I mean, I knew pressure cookers could be bombs because of pressure cooker explosions when people don't use them correctly in their kitchens and everything. But who knew you could use them that way?
Right. And again, there's and look what that did. It didn't do this kind of damage. I think that's the part that's really alarming, is how easily he reloaded his weapon and things like that. Those are the details we don't know. He fired a lot of bullets. We fired over 100 rounds.
Right.
And,
yeah.
How did he do that so nonchalantly? And again, you and I have talked about it before. I do believe in the good guy with a gun. There's a lot of evidence of you got a good guy with a gun can defeat sometimes a bad guy with a gun.
Let's just go to there was a armed robbery that was taking place at one of these video arcade store places about 3 or 4 years ago here in Marion County. The 3 black youth came in with their guns brandished. They went by a older gentleman who was playing the games. Once they went by him, he pulled his concealed weapon, started firing at them. They were struck. They ran out of the building. The robbery was thwarted by the good guy.
Yeah, and there's tons of examples like that you will not hear about in this situation. And you get in a gun-free zone, and it becomes a prime target for this.
Yeah, but it's just
the sad part of all of this is not just the loss of life, but it'll be the loss of our liberties from henceforth.
Oh yeah, now you'll have to go. Now there'll be metal detectors and all at the subway stations. There'll be searches at the subway, and that's the one thing that people don't. We're so quick as Americans to say, "Hey, as long as we're safe, we'll give up our liberty," and that was proven during the pandemic. Oh, as long as you're making us safe, Mr. President, we'll give up our liberties. And
Well, and not just during the virus, but post 9/11.
yeah,
Anytime there's an attack, look what happened to our liberties during World War II.
yep,
Especially if you're of Japanese descent.
yeah.
The government is always and will always try and have more and more control of you.
Let's take a phone call real quick.
That's just the role of government.
Yeah, let's take a phone call real quick. You're on with Galen and Tom.
Good morning, Gail and Tom. Sonny calling. As far as I know, nobody died yet from that
No,
atrocity.
five people are in critical condition but stable.
Yeah.
Nobody's died yet.
And if they survive, if they catch this guy, they'll throw the book at him and give him 10 years in prison, and he'll be out on bail.
Probably. Thanks for the.
This is
You're
how
right.
fouled up our government is.
It's a
Not the
revolving
people,
door.
The government.
It's a revolving door, Sonny. You're right about that. Thanks for the call. We got to take a break. More with Galen, on the other side of this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Here's the latest from the College of Central Florida. On Wednesday, April 20th at 8:35 a.m., Bonnie Hayes and Diana Worthman will tell us about the college's Employer Connection Service to help students and graduates connect with local employers. Tune in to hear about ways CF can help local employers find qualified students and help graduates find jobs and internship opportunities. That's Wednesday, the 20th at 8:35 a.m. on Higher Education Happenings.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, Galen from Life South is with us on the phone lines. Thanks to Penn Flooring, JustShip.net, and Palm Garden Health Rehabilitative Center. Before we stop talking about the New York City subway shooting and move on to something else, you made a very good point, Galen. When you want to try and make sure you don't rush to judgment, you want to make an informed decision. And every time somebody says that, I'm reminded I lived in the area at the time, and I remember 1996 and how they rushed to judgment and basically ruined a man's life. The federal government ruined Richard Jewell's life, a guy who actually was a hero that moved people away from the backpack in the Olympic Park that blew up. He actually saved lots of people's lives, and his payment for it was, you made it up. You did that so you could act like a hero and save people's lives. You planted the bomb, and for the better part of a year and a half, this guy was a pariah to people in the Atlanta area, and he's still not recovered financially or professionally.
No, and he never did emotionally.
No.
And you're right. I was at the Olympics that year, but I'm on the same page as you on that, and that kind of changed my attitude towards a lot of things. The way the media covered it. And the thing is, there were a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of the things that the people who were like around that venue were saying didn't kind of jive with the media, and that was really the first time that I looked at the media and said, they're not getting this right. And by the way,
they didn't care they didn't get it right. That's what got me.
Well, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution came out very early and said, we don't, based on our reporting, it seems like this guy's a hero. And then the FBI came in, and the national press jumped on him as a person of interest and just ruined the guy's life. And then the FBI just kept following that lead. And again, he proved out to be, as you say, a hero. And history, that's a hard thing to come back.
Yeah.
It's hard to call somebody, you're a mass murderer. It's hard to, after you've been accused of that, went to trial.
Oh, yeah. They accused him. Remember, they said he did it because he set it up to explode the device so that he could look like a hero, because he was basically they said he was such a loser that he invented this way to become popular. And it was
he wasn't even
right. And it wasn't even anywhere
and
near the truth. It had no truth in it whatsoever.
None. And again, according to all the witness statements, that none of it rang true. But again, and that's ever since then, you gotta pause, because you kind of, even in your personal judgments, you want to make sure you get it right. You don't want to get into that posse mentality. And again, if you look at what happened with the Boston Marathon, they had videos of the guys placing the bombs.
Yeah.
And even that guy, I know Sonny talked about how they tried to overturn his, in the city of Boston, tried to overturn his death penalty, and it went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, no. This guy, it's a federal crime. The federal government has a right to put this man to death. And they had to fight for that. You're right. That is a big issue. And now, because in New York they have hate crime laws, if they can prove it is a hate crime, that will triple a sentence.
Right. So
but,
we'll have to let it play out and see what happens. But senseless.
Well, they got the guys that portion of interest. They have his name.
They got his address. They got his credit cards.
Yeah. And the fact that they can't find him, if all of a sudden I was a person of interest,
I'd be, and I didn't do anything. If I was a person of interest and I didn't do anything, I'm walking into the closest precinct in New York saying, "Hey, here I am."
Oh, absolutely. Look, my bad. My phone got shot. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Come get me. And I think that's where we don't want to rush to jump to any conclusions. But And by the way, let's be very clear. The New York Police Department released him as a person of interest for a purpose. So let's just see what that purpose is.
Well, yeah, because you got 8 million people that can help you with the manhunt.
Correct. That's right.
Hey,
people think you can hide in New York.
You cannot. You cannot.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. And by the way, the New Yorkers are going to rally.
Oh yeah.
They'll rally around this, and because so many. And again, if you've ever been to New York, you've been in the subway, right? It's one of those iconic things you want to do.
Even if you're a tourist, you go ride the subway.
Right, because it's like this is the New York subway.
Right.
It's iconic.
The only other subway like that in the United States is if you go to Chicago, chances are you want to get on the L just for a little bit.
Sure.
Right.
And not for long because it's a terrible ride.
By the way, let me tell you,
nobody is a better ride.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to get on MARTA in Atlanta. Let's just clear that up. But
it's not iconic, but if you've spent any time in Atlanta, you've gotten on
MARTA. If you've lived in Atlanta, if you went to a Falcons game, you've got on the MARTA. I mean,
Sure.
It dumps you out right at the stadium. Literally, you walk out of the station across the crosswalk and into the dome. So.
Yeah, but there's no intention of bringing that out to the new Brave Stadium.
Which makes
it's not going to go on the west side.
Because Cobb County can't agree with DeKalb and Fulton County over how to pay for it and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's a big piece. It's a big chunk of change.
It is
for 82
for
games.
one station.
Yeah,
one station.
Yeah.
Hey, did you? I saw this and I thought, this is one of those guys that you loved him or you hated him. There was no middle ground here. It was announced yesterday Gilbert Godfrey died after battling myotonic dystrophy. It's kind of muscular dystrophy that usually strikes people in their 20s or 30s. So there may be, a reason for all the quirkiness and all was this muscle disease. But Gilbert Godfrey passed away yesterday at 67. I, for one, was a fan of Gilbert Godfrey. I liked his humor. He was a little blue when he was doing his stand-up. It was adult humor, but he was also the iconic role of Iago in Aladdin. So that helped me as well.
Well, I guess. I mean, his best role was in Beverly Hills Cop. But the crazy thing is, I heard him on a podcast last week.
Beverly
Hills
Hills
Cop. Tour. Yeah, you remember he was in that, right?
No, I don't.
He was the lawyer, and he got bribed with tickets. So if I was to put $50 and you're in the hand over here, and then
was that Beverly Hills Cop?
Forget about all of it. Wasn't that Beverly Hills Cop?
I don't think it was Beverly
Hills. Yeah, it was. And then.
Oh, was it Beverly Hills Cop 2?
I was one of them.
I don't think it was Beverly Hills Cop. I think it might have been 2.
It was one of those Beverly Hills Cops. And then he ended up making the donation to some fund or whatever. But, yeah, he's in it. Now you're questioning me. I figured you would know this. But, yeah, there you go. You can Google it.
I am. So.
Good.
All right.
But anyway, I liked him in very small doses. I wasn't, I've seen his stand-up like, TV. But I liked him in small doses.
Yeah, it was Beverly Hills Cop 2. I thought it was Beverly Hills Cop 2. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I knew he was on one of them.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, but he iconic guy. His voice, you knew it right away. And, we got about a minute for a break. Do you think, because either people loved him or they hated him, but didn't they love or hate his voice? It wasn't actually him they loved or hated?
Well, I mean, his comedy was of a certain style, and just like all comedians, the great ones have that kind of a style, right? There are very few that can cross all, the Richard Pryors of the world, the Eddie Murphys who can strike a chord across all boundaries. It's pretty rare, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, most people are like Jeff Foxworthy, where there's a certain group that love him.
And then there's a certain group that think he's just right. Yeah.
He doesn't talk for them, and that's what good comedians do.
Right. We got to take a break. We'll be right back with one more segment with Galen. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Officials provided an update overnight on the subway shooting and smoke bomb attack in Brooklyn, New York, Tuesday. NYPD Police Commissioner Keishant Sewell.
This afternoon, a man who was traveling on a Manhattan-bound N train opened 2 canisters that dispensed smoke throughout the subway car. He then shot multiple passengers as the train pulled into the 36th Street station in Sunset Park. 10 people were injured by gunfire, and an additional 13 were either injured as they rushed to get out of the train station or they suffered smoke inhalation.
Police continue looking for 62-year-old Frank James for questioning. More than 1,000 Ukrainian Marines have surrendered in the besieged port of Mariupol. Russia's defense ministry said on Wednesday it is Moscow's main target in the eastern Donbass region, which it has yet to bring under control. USA Radio News.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Hey there, Congresswoman Kat Kamak here, your conservative voice in our nation's capital. I'm so proud to be an advocate for the over 65,000 veterans here in North Central Florida. The new Ocala VA clinic is now open, providing important primary care and specialty services. If you're a veteran in the Ocala area, thank you for your service. Feel free to get in touch with our team by visiting us online at camac.house.gov. I'm Kat Kamak, and it is my honor to serve you.
This ad is paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting less proof factory surcharge or delivery fee. See website for details.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917. Did you know that there's an Italian bakery and deli in Ocala? Yes, there is. Right now, they're busy making traditional Easter treats, Easter bread, ricotta pies, St. Joseph's cakes, and so much more. They make them fresh daily, just like your Nonna made. Mangia. The Italian bakery and deli is located on North Magnolia Avenue, just north of downtown. So call ahead and order early, 352-207-2667. Happy Easter and God bless.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Galen Unall from Life South joins us for one more segment. Galen, I saved this till the end because I didn't want to aggravate you this morning too bad.
Okay.
I got an email that I read this morning. I got to the office about 6:30, 6:45 this morning, and I got an email that was not very flattering.
Oh, okay.
It said the drivel, I don't even know what drivel is, but okay. The drivel that you and the squeaky voice guy talk about all the time has no bearing on anything that anybody cares about. You waste an hour of our time every morning. Try to come up with a different avenue of discussion. Nobody wants to hear your memory lane discussions about when you were kids.
Well,
it's hard to listen to. Change it up.
That's awesome.
Margaret.
Well, thank you for listening, Margaret. I appreciate it.
I take no
I don't know what else to say.
I take no insult in that, because I know she's not calling me the squeaky voice guy.
No.
I promise you, I'm not squeaky voice guy.
There's a reason that I never made it to the national level. Put it that way.
You know, and I sent her back the answer that I always do. Thanks for listening.
What else are you going to say? Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I literally
appreciate
laughed
the
out
candor.
loud sitting in the control room when I said,
You just like the squeaky
the
voice.
conversation between you and the squeaky voice guy.
Yeah, you know, I always I
So
like
she's
mail
listening to
when
you.
they like know.
She's listening to you call a high school football game, obviously.
That's right. That's right. For flag football, that was terrible. But I actually enjoyed the conversation yesterday. But what are you going to do? They can't all be home runs.
Hey.
They can't all be green stamp construction.
By the way, it says Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. So I get to decide what the discussion is every day, whether Margaret likes it or not.
Yeah, just just take care of our sponsors. Go to Palm Garden.
Yeah.
Tell them you like the squeaky voice guy. Yeah.
Give the gift of life. Give blood and say, hey,
flooring.
we gave blood because the squeaky voice guy.
That's right. That would be Then everybody at Life South would get that.
Oh, they would get it right away. It would be right away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I'm amazed that somebody took time out of their life, because even if you put that, she wrote probably 100 words, and to take that time to type that, to email it. When you're typing, you always got a backspace because you spell something wrong, you hit the wrong key. So that email had to take at least 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, and again, I appreciate the effort.
I do too.
I do.
I really do.
I'm doing my best.
And by the way, if we could, we would talk about childhood stories every day, because they're easy to talk about.
They are. They take a lot less brain matter.
A lot less.
And if I hadn't had a thyroid issue, maybe I would be doing my dream job of being a lounge.
And who knows, if I hadn't destroyed my vocal cords and nasal passages from, being a partier in my 20s, who knows? I may have a squeaky voice. You never know.
That's correct. That's correct.
You never know. So,
there you go.
Did you see the unique way that a protester tried to stop the Timberwolves game last night? The play-in game last night. When I saw this, I was like, what is she protesting? That the NBA's terrible? But no, she was protesting that the owner of the Timberwolves, Glenn Taylor, who owns chicken farms, recently killed a large amount of its chickens due to the bird flu outbreak. Her shirt she had on read, Glenn Taylor roast animals alive. She was an animal rights activist. During a set of free throws in the Clippers Timberwolves game last night, this woman comes onto the other end of the court, sprays super glue all over the court, and lays down in it, trying to glue herself to the court so that they couldn't remove her.
My son said this to me, and he goes, Dad, what is this? And I'm watching the clip, and I come on. That's comedy gold.
Oh.
That is funny.
Oh.
Because you know what's great
Like
about
Banyan said, that's gold, Jerry, gold.
The amount of time, energy, and effort that process took for her to smuggle in the glue. and you know she's sitting there through like the pregame.
First off, who's got how much money did she
game.
spend on those front row seats to be able to do this protest?
There's all of this that just makes me laugh, and then if you're the maintenance crew, you're like, how in the world are we going to get this glue off, right?
Yeah, did they have acetone? Do they have a gallon of acetone just hanging around?
I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, it was a pretty terrible attempt. But it was, come on, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's upper level. That's upper level comedy.
But you have to be so deranged, right, mentally to go, this is going to be my moment. I'm going to stop it.
I'm going to glue myself to the floor.
To the court. Come on. I mean, you have to, the level that says this is what's going to change everybody.
She's looking in the mirror right before she goes to the game. This is going to be epic.
Listening to Melissa Etheridge or something on the way.
She got the Indigo Girls blasting in the car on the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt. All of those things are true.
I'll get all kind of work as the poster girl for PETA after this.
I'm going to be a social media hit.
I'll be an influencer by tomorrow morning.
Oh, and by the way, in her profile, she has all the right code in there for, like, she, him, whatever, right? All of the proper code that when you see it on a profile, you just nod your head and go, okay.
Well,
right.
She, and by the way, the glue was cleaned up almost immediately by maintenance, and the game wasn't even right. The game wasn't even slowed down that long.
They didn't even delay it.
Which concerns me that the maintenance crew must have acetone like on their utility belts or something.
But don't you? But don't you have to do a little more research on what glue works on an NBA court?
Well, super glue obviously ain't the glue.
Testing.
Super glue obviously ain't the glue.
Nearly enough. I mean, it was kind of. I mean, get some. But it's like if she would have broken out a bottle of Gorilla Glue and then Gorilla Glue gets behind it. Then you got.
It ain't like she could put the two little drops on and put the coffee mug handle back on like you see in the super glue commercial.
Right. Correct. What was that? Didn't they have one where it held like a car?
Oh yeah. No, remember the guy that hung from his hard hat?
Yeah.
They glued the hard hat to the steel girder, and I always thought,
yeah.
But how's he hold it? That hard hat's not strapped around his chin or anything.
Again, I'm sure the hard hat. That's a hard hat.
But yeah,
I enjoyed it. That was comical. That was it's stuff like that.
And she didn't like that he was killing chickens that had bird flu.
What are you supposed to do with them?
Kill them.
I have by the way, I really had no idea what she was protesting. And I didn't care.
She was literally protesting that Glenn Taylor, the owner of the Timberwolves, recently on his chicken farms killed a bunch of chickens due to the bird flu outbreak. Yeah.
Come on, that's great.
Yeah, that's comedy gold, Jerry. Gold.
You can't make this.
You cannot.
You just can't.
Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today? And by the way, wherever it is, nobody go try to glue yourself to it.
No, because we'll just drive with you on it.
Exactly.
We got places to be. We got lives to stay.
You'll be like the ant in Vacation. It's just you'll be on top of the bus. Aunt Edna.
So anyway, we are actually today at the Lowe's out on 200. So come check us out there. But as always, we're right on the boulevard. Check us out, lifesouth.org. We do have that in support of Ukraine blood drive going on. That and by the way, that came from another private foundation that support. They're doing this all across the country as a way to, one, solve our blood supply problem, and two, support Ukraine. So please just get out there, get the wife, and donate blood.
Galen, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thank you, Tom.
And there wraps up Squeaky Voice for the day. We'll be right back after this timeout. Are you suffering from neck, back, or leg pain? Go Green CBD store can help you with holistic, all-natural, lab-tested products that help with pain, stress, anxiety, inflammation, PTSD, and so much more. We stock smokable products, gummies, chocolate, coffee, tea, even pain cream. Yes, we even have treats and oils for your dogs or cats. Go Green CBD is located in the Paddock Mall in the center court. We're open every day